So, I've had some questions and comments about fertility treatment. So I'm going to share a little bit of our journey. Oh, I hate when people are like, this is my fertility journey, blah, 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 blah. It's whatever. It is what it's our story. It's our fertility story and how we got our children. So basically, we got married in 2017, and we were like, hey, I don't want to be an old parent. Like, do you want to knock boots and make a baby? So we did decide to do such things, and that did not pan out. So, like, after a little bit, we were like, I feel like this probably is not normal. And so went to the OBGYN, and they were like, hey, you have PCOS. If you want children, I maybe would try now. And I'm like, thank you, Margaret. I am very, very clearly trying, which is why I'm here, because it's not working. It's not working, okay? So that's why I'm here. So anyway, so I got blood work drawn, and she called me and she was like, girl, you're not ovulating. And I was like, well, again, I told you I wasn't, because I was taking ovulation tests and they were always negative. So thank you. I knew that. So what are we going to do about it? What's our game plan? Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's so weird. Anyway, she was like, I'm going to try this medicine. It's called Clomid. And I was like, oh, great. Okay. What about it? First of all, I don't know if it was just me or if it's everybody or what. It gave me the poops. Not good. I do not recommend. It gave me the cramp poops. Like, bad. So anyway, that's besides the point. Actually, get back on track. So, I tried Clomid. It's supposed to make you ovulate. And she was like, you still ain't ovulating. What are we gonna do with you? And I was like, I don't know. So she was like, oh, I know. Let's up your dosage. So we did that 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this isn't working. I'm not a fan of this waiting. I'm gonna call the fertility clinic. And I was like, hey, I need you to put me on your schedule, because my OBGYN, she just ain't cutting it. So I go back to my OBGYN appointment, and she's like, you know what? I don't think I can help you. I think you need to go to a fertility specialist. And I was like, thank you, Mary Margaret. Thank you. I have already made myself an appointment, but I do appreciate you being honest with me now. So, and by the way, I'm just being stupid. She was very nice. She did what she could. My body just did not agree with it. It just was not, it was not having it. It said, no ma'am, not today. So anyway, I go to, the fertility clinic, and they're like, PCOS, I got you, girl. We see it all the time. It's going to be easy. It's going to be an easy fix. We'll just do a couple IUIs and get you knocked up. And I was like, okay. So, if you don't know what an IUI is, basically, your husband releases. I don't know what you can say on YouTube. His you get it. His man stuff in a cup. Okay. And so they take it with like a little turkey baster, and they're like, okay. And then you spread eagle. You get on that table and you go, whoop, and you just spread it as far as you can go. And that little turkey baster up your tooth wall, and then you just wait. You wait like 2 weeks, I don't know, whatever it is, to see if you're pregnant. So we did that 3 times. it didn't work. And I was like, I thought you said this was easy. That this was, yeah, I got PCOS. I thought you said this was good. Like, we were good here. This was gonna work. I thought that's what you said. You told me that. I thought I heard it. That was not the case. So, we got our last negative test on Christmas Eve. Yeah, that on Christmas Eve. And I just a little tidbit. If you have ever spent a holiday crying over this, I mean, it's serious, crying over not being pregnant or not having a baby when you wanted one, like, I feel you. I spent that Christmas Eve laying on the floor of my bathroom crying out because it's a pain that you don't know unless you've been there. So anyway, we decided, okay, this is enough. We've spent enough money doing IUIs. Let's look at doing IVF. And we had always wanted to adopt, but for some reason it just felt like we were supposed to do IVF. So we did. And it was, I think, probably one of the hardest things that I have ever done in my entire life. I did shots every day, sometimes twice a day for weeks straight. And then when we did our egg retrieval, I had what's it called? Where your ovaries like ovarian I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. Basically, my ovaries from where the eggs had been removed, all of those sacs that had eggs in them had filled up with fluid and swelled my ovaries to the point to where they were touching. So like your ovaries are like here's one ovary, here's the other ovary, and I had what they call kissing ovaries. They were literally touching, to the point where I could barely sit. It hurt me to walk. I was in a absolutely ridiculous amount of pain, and I was like that for 3 or 4 days. And most people don't have that issue. They can do the retrieval and go back to work the next day or the day after, and like not any big deal. That was not the case for me, and it really, really flippin' sucked. So fast forward a little bit, we had like 20 eggs retrieved, and we ended with 5 embryos. So we did 3 transfers. We tried acupuncture with them. We tried a few more things, but I can't think off the top of my head right now what all we did. And obviously none of the embryos stuck. We do not have any biological children. So after the 3rd one, I was like, I told my husband, I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I am completely overwhelmed. I'm depressed. I don't think that I can mentally handle going through another transfer for it to not work. So we made the decision to take a break, and I was working in the foster care system, and I was like, you know what, why don't we look into fostering? We could only foster kids that could be adopted because, again, I was working in the foster care system, and if you're doing that, you're not able to foster like a normal foster family. We only are allowed to foster children who have had parental rights terminated. So we couldn't mess with any of their like perm plans or any of that. So we decided we were going to do that, and we started classes. I think we made it through 2 classes, I think. And then the agency where I was working, actually, one of my friends that I worked with was like, hey, I know you all are going through foster classes and stuff. Are you wanting to adopt? And we're like, yeah, like that, we would love to adopt, but it's kind of hard to find kids that have already had parental rights terminated. And also, like, I feel like some people don't agree with this, but like, you shouldn't go into foster care wanting just to adopt, because the goal of foster care should always be reunification, unless there's obviously like long-term safety issues, neglect issues, all that stuff. But you should want the parents to succeed. You should want them to meet their goals and get their kids back. That should be your main priority in going into foster care. So it was a little bit weird for me to go into it knowing that we could only get kids who had already had parental rights terminated and all this stuff. So, and we were like, well, yeah, like, we're totally open to it, whatever. And we talked about it. And she had 3 kids who were on her caseload. Some of her kids that she like went and visited the families with and everything. That's basically what a caseload is. So we talked to her about it, and she was like, would you be willing to meet him? Do you think that you'd be willing to adopt if like it was a good fit and all this stuff? And we were like, yeah, I mean, we'll meet him, like, sure. And at the time they were 2, 3, and 4, or 1, 3, and 4 when we met them. So it was, I don't know why we thought it was a good idea, but we did. And now I'm so incredibly thankful that we thought it was. But we met him, and we sat down with my son, and we were coloring a picture with him, and he was just like on cloud 9 and talking to us. And it was just one of those moments that was so overwhelming. And I looked up at my husband across the table from me and just started crying. And we knew right then that we were wanting to adopt them. It was just instant. We felt it. They were ours. And so we moved forward with it. And 6 months later, after we got them, we adopted them, and they've been with us since. So that's just a little bit of our story. Obviously I could go a lot more in depth if there's any questions or anything, but I just wanted to kind of answer that and give a little bit of like background to the kids and our situation. And also, like, again, like, I've made comments where people are addressing people that have said that my weight is an issue and all this and that, but it doesn't bother me, because I mean, sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes it does bother me, but a lot of times it doesn't, because of what happened for me to gain this weight. I mean, I put my body through a lot, and I don't know, it did its best, and I'm not gonna be mad at myself for what my body looks like now. I'm healthy. I don't have any other issues. I don't know, so that's why I kind of also wanted to make this video, was just to be able to share that side of it. And maybe somebody will stop and think, maybe I shouldn't make a comment. I mean, you shouldn't anyway, but you really don't know why someone is the size that they are. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they struggle with. And like, just stop and think about it for a minute before you say anything mean. And then just like, take that comment and just delete it from your head. Okay? Because it doesn't need to be there. It doesn't need to be shared. It doesn't need to be topped out and posted. But anyway, so that's how our little familia, I shouldn't say little because it's not little. There's 5 of us and we always take up like the most room. But that's how we came to be. So yeah, if you have any other questions, I would be happy to answer them. And yeah, so I hope you all have a great day. And if you're watching this and you watched it all the way through, thank you, because this is very long. It's a very long explanation. But I love you guys, and thanks.